While the majority of people are familiar with Toyota's work on trucks like the Toyota Tacoma and Toyota Tundra, as well as passenger cars like the Toyota Corolla and Camry, Toyota has also made significant progress in the luxury and sports car markets. True auto enthusiasts are aware of Toyota's heritage, and fans of Toyota sports cars can be found all over the world. Toyota has established itself as a formidable automaker since its founding in 1937, before the Second World War, and before the ever-demanding mechanical industrialization of our current era. The automotive company is currently best known for its capacity to produce inexpensive, dependable, and timeless vehicles. However, that does not mean that's all the business can do. Toyota aims to be effective. The sports cars the automaker has produced over the years have not only aided in the production of excellent vehicles, but have also assisted in setting the standard. The MR2, Celica, and Supra carry on the legacy established by the Toyota Sports 800. These cars are among the most distinctive in the entire world because they combine Toyota's renowned dependability and accessibility with the thrilling performance and driving experience that enthusiasts seek. You can be sure that your recipe will be successful if you add a classy Japanese appearance and styling cues. Toyota has a diverse lineup of sports cars that appeal to a variety of tastes and preferences, ranging from the affordable GR86 to the beloved Supra to the luxurious Lexus LFA. The best examples of Toyota's performance prowess are these three sports cars. Even though the MR2 and Celica are no longer in production, their greatness lives on, and the Supra's legacy persists. These cars have undergone numerous changes over the years, some more recently than others. It's not surprising that auto enthusiasts have fallen in love with these distinctive Toyota builds, given the variety of versions available. The usual car buyer might not be able to tell you anything significant about Toyota's history of sports cars if you asked them. However, it is not their fault. Since Toyota is known for producing dependable sedans, SUVs, and pickup trucks, their sports cars frequently go unnoticed. The sports car enthusiast, on the other hand, might have a lot to say about the cult following of the Celica, or how happy they are that Toyota decided to include a manual transmission for the 2023 model if you were to ask them what they thought about Toyota's history of producing sports cars. Toyota's history is interesting to revisit, whether it is still active or not. The Celica, the eldest of the three, was made available to the general public in 1970 at the Tokyo Motor Show. The Celica, with its distinctive design, competed with American sports cars like the Chevy Camaro as the Japanese equivalent of the Ford Mustang. It was one of the few vehicles available with a fashionable design, better performance, and an affordable price. This immediately made the Celica popular. This particular sports car was intended to be more than just a regular car. Toyota aimed for the presence of drive, performance, and above all, excitement. Whatever inspired Toyota to design this car must have been divine, because even the name Celica is derived from the word Celico, which means from the heavens. The first generation of Celica was available in two trim levels, the LT and the ST. The LT had a 1.6-litre, 4-cylinder, 2T carbureted engine, whereas the ST had a twin-2TB engine with Solex carburetors. The Celica initially did well in sales, and nothing changed. The 2TG GT model was introduced by Toyota in 1974, and it featured a 1.6-litre DOHC twin-Solex carburetor engine. Even a version with the 2TG engine, a simpler interior, and a firmer suspension was available under the name GTV. The Celica won Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year award 3 times in its first 10 years: 1974, 1976, and 1977. It was abundantly clear that Toyota had done something incredibly right with the first 7 years of the Celica. The business was prepared to change a few things. The Japanese automaker was prepared to transition to more recent, superior generations. The MR2, which made its debut in 1984, is unique for a variety of reasons. This sports car stands out in the history of Toyota sports car production, not just because of its mid-engine layout, but also because it is unlike anything Toyota has ever produced. The MR2, which some have referred to as a budget exotic car, was a cutting-edge spectacle that could compete with the modern Porsche 944. It was the Sports 800 as Toyota had always envisioned it, with a contemporary twist. This 1980s icon is a prime example of Toyota's experimental size, engine, drivetrain, and styling developments. Midship drive two-seater is referred to as MR2. The MR2 briefly surpassed the most thrilling European sports cars of the time thanks to its flawless handling, 112 horsepower, twin-cam 1.6-litre inline-four mounted engine, and a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of about 8.4 seconds. The second generation, the MK2, brought about a sort of metamorphosis for the MR2. It was more expensive, faster, curvier, and heavier. This model had 130 horsepower as standard, but if you chose the turbo trim, which had turbo inscribed on the back, you would receive 200 horsepower. The turbo version completed the 0 to 60 time in about 5.8 seconds, compared to the standard's 8 seconds. The MR2 was updated over the course of this generation, increasing its horsepower to 135 for the standard model and 240 for the turbo. A car that looked like a Porsche but was unlike anything Toyota had ever produced could be fun for collectors and cult members to own. Ultimately, Toyota decided to stop manufacturing this cherished sports car due to a lack of demand. In its final year of production, 2005, only 27,941 MR2 Spyders were sold in America, making it the most uncommon MR2 ever made. While the Supra is undoubtedly the most impressive sports car Toyota has ever produced, it all began in 1978 as a Celica spin-off. The Supra was always meant to be Toyota's pinnacle of automotive engineering, designed to be more opulent and more potent. Toyota started exporting the car to some regions of Europe in 1982 after it was introduced in Japan in 1981 as the Celica Supra. This car stands out from the Celica and other sports cars available thanks to its 2.8-litre 5MG flagship twin-cam engine and razor-sharp design. Supra and Celica split up in 1985. While the Supra continued to experiment with its wheel-drive ingenuity, the Celica switched to front-wheel drive. In 1986, the A70 Supra was introduced. It was smaller, lighter, and more powerful than ever. 230 horsepower were generated by its 3.0-litre 7MGT twin-cam turbocharged and intercooled engine. Later versions of the 3.0 GT Turbo A Limited Edition were capable of producing up to 270 horsepower. The Supra had been improved by the end of the 1980s. The most potent Supra trim was not to be trifled with. It had a top speed of about 150 miles per hour and could accelerate from 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. The Supra entered its third generation in the early 1990s, and with the MR2 making its own advancements, Toyota was unstoppable. However, the 1980s and 1990s were difficult for the business because so many other automakers were achieving their own successes. The Supra needed to be more compact, effective, and powerful, without a doubt. The 1993 released Supra MK4 may very well be the all-time favorite Supra design. The Supra made a comeback in 2019 and was more streamlined and smooth. The 2019 Supra is equipped with either a turbocharged B48 2.0-litre inline-4 or a turbocharged B58 3.0-litre inline-6. A manual transmission is the only thing it lacks. It's good that the 2023 model will have one. If you have the chance, would you try driving these storied cars yourself? Let us know your thoughts in the comment box below. If you've watched up to this point, thank you so much. For more videos about EVs, Toyota, Tesla, Ford, and the most recent auto news, please consider subscribing to Tech Addicts.